we as a nation of people, we're the only ones who do not have our own military. We don't have our own land. We don't have our own government. We don't have our own system. We don't have anything as a nation of people. So that's what I mean when I refer to segregation. I refer to self-determination.
Okay.
That we need to set ourselves apart. We need to focus on loving each other and ourselves as a nation of people first.
Okay.
We need to stop the self-hate, the self-genocide, and we need to learn to
It
love
ain't
each other.
that I can't stop, it's that I won't stop. I made a few plays off a flip, now I'm on top. I'm Southside Chief, homie. Yeah. What you know about it? Lake Street legend CEO, not the co-founder. What you wanna know about me? I'm so churched up. I'm the last man standing, but I went first up. Most hated, they don't say it when I roll up. The things that people say about me, they don't say close up. Check it. I ain't been to the booth in a minute. Niggas hate the fact that I'm winning. Who makes him the chief of the South Side? Oh my nigga, I'm not the lieutenant. When I was in the gym, you wasn't in it. FaceTime, so my windows is tinted. If I said that shit, then I meant it. Niggas gave me the rules and I bent it. Same nigga that was trapping while I was suspended. You wasn't in them hallways banging, boy, you wasn't in it. Really a genuine nigga, homie, don't get offended. From East Lake, South Murder, I'm just ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't stop.
Ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right, another episode of Minnesota's #1 daily show live on Lake Street. Special guest in the building, Nasi Nazir X. Got that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, man, we were just talking a little bit off the mic about how you got to kind of carry a bit of a wild life doing what you do out here. Would you say that's pretty accurate?
Most definitely.
Yeah. So, can you just give me an idea of what is your job on a day-to-day?
Well, as a national president, you know what I'm saying, of the Line of Judah Armed Forces, also local president of the New Black Panther Nation. That's under the leadership of National Chairman Minister Quanah Lex. You know, I do it for the liberation of black people. Also bring in the solidarity and also bring in the freedom and the knowledge of self that we teach as well, day in and day out throughout our classes, our weekly classes with the sisterhood development classes, and as well as our national training that we have every Saturday. But standing as a community activist, the work gets extremely hectic at times. And like I say, I do it because I love it. So, but just dealing with some of the cases, you know, I dealt with a case in Minneapolis North where there was a sister in her early 20s. A man shot her in the back of her head in a vehicle and then tossed her out in the alley and just left her out there for dead. And, you know, dealing with that case and dealing with that scenery also where we show up on and seeing the mothers and the pain, seeing the mother's sorrow, it takes a toll, but at the same time, I love what I'm doing because I truly feel that it's my calling.
Yeah. That's heavy stuff, dude. That just made me sad. So talk to me a little bit about, the Lion of Judah Armed Forces. What is that? What is the organization? What's the responsibility, or what's the
mission?
What's the mission? There's the word I was looking
Most
for.
definitely.
Yeah.
Well, the mission for the Lion of Judah Armed Forces, again, is to focus on unlearning the lies and rebirthing the mind. That's our slogan. Unlearning the lies of white supremacy, unlearning the lies that we have been taught due to the fact that our ancestors, everything was stripped away from them, such as their culture, their heritage, their tradition, their language, and so much more. So with us as the Lion of Judah Armed Forces, we teach our brothers and sisters it's very important to obtain the knowledge of self.
Yes.
So, you know, we hold the classes for that to make sure our brothers and sisters are turning back to the original roots that was stripped away from them and stolen from them. And then not only that, we make sure that I'm a brother who believes in segregation. I believe in being set apart. We've been in America for
entirely?
Yes, most definitely.
So then isn't this difficult for you then?
What?
This conversation?
No.
Because we are not currently segregated.
I mean, we're not
We're on opposite sides of the table. But
see, because when I speak segregation, you know, some people may assume that because I speak segregation that I dislike white people.
Oh no, I didn't even mean it like that.
Right.
I didn't. That's not at all what I meant. I just mean, wouldn't it make? I'm trying to think of the right way to say this. Is it not difficult to have this conversation with a white man?
Absolutely not.
No.
No.
You don't feel like you should be speaking to a black man about this?
No, it
Okay.
don't matter because
Okay.
even though I'm having this conversation with you,
Mm-hmm.
you're wise enough to understand or overstand
Mm-hmm.
the condition we're in as a nation of people.
For sure.
So that's what I'm saying is
Yeah.
that even though we have this conversation, I'm pretty sure you're wise enough and you have the knowledge on the historical side
I do.
of what took place in America.
I do.
And,
And on some level, I do I get what you mean. I think a certain amount of segregation is definitely necessary because there are some spaces. I don't think. See, I don't know. I've never had to really think about this until this moment. So you kind of caught me off guard with this. But now I'm thinking there are black spaces where white people should not be at all. So on that side, I understand it. But I don't know if there's any white spaces that I think black people shouldn't be.
Well, let me go in deeper detail on behalf of the segregation I'm referring to.
Got you.
When I refer to the segregation, I also tie it to self-determination.
Okay.
We as a nation of people, we're the only ones who do not have our own military. We don't have our own land. We don't have our own government. We don't have our own system.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have anything
Yeah.
as a nation of people. So that's what I mean when I refer to segregation. I refer to self-determination.
Okay.
That we need to set ourselves apart. We need to focus on loving each other and ourselves as a nation of people first.
Okay.
We need to stop the self-hate, the self-genocide, and we need to learn to love each other as a nation of people and unite and be able to build our structure to obtain self-determination. But the only way you're going to obtain that self-determination, you got to learn to focus on ourselves first.
Got you.
Which is basically being set apart.
Okay. That makes sense to me. So do you believe, so forgive me if I'm wrong here, but do you think that you think there should be segregation in schools?
Most definitely.
Yes.
There should be segregation in the schools on behalf of America's school systems is built off of teaching our children the ongoing history and the ongoing culture of white supremacy.
Yes.
So most definitely that our school systems, we need our own school systems to be able to teach our children the knowledge of self.
Yeah.
To gain, because a lot of our children don't know their own history.
Yeah.
The history that's being taught, black history that's being taught in the school systems here in white America is selective. It's selective history.
Yep.
Rosa Parks, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, and a few other people, but they don't want to teach the true black history. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel that our children would learn a lot more in schools, in their own school systems that's focused on teaching them the truth about who they are.
Yeah.
That they're not animals, they're not criminals, they're just not slaves. That's not where the beginning started from. You have a rich culture.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it stems back 5,000 years that's being hidden from us as a nation of people, and that's not being taught.
The only pushback I'll give you on this is I think it's just as important, if not more important, for white kids to learn that too.
Most definitely. I mean, white children can learn that, but, at the same time, it should be up to the white teachers to teach them.
I agree.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when you look at it, the white teachers are the ones basically who was covering up as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, and to be honest, a lot of white people know this history.
Of course.
They know it, but
Yes.
it's an agenda
Yes.
to keep us.
And it's easier
Yeah.
to not talk about the truth.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
So that's really what it was. Like, for example, Christopher Columbus discovering America. That's what that's what they was teaching here in America for many, 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 many years.
Yep.
But how many teachers and people actually knew the true history behind that?
All of them.
And they knew the
They
truth.
continue to teach that bullshit.
But the reason why they
Yeah.
continue to teach it is because it's a part of their history and it's one of their ancestors.
And it's easier, again, to go back, it's easier for them to not give pushback to whoever their bosses are. Like, hey, I don't want to teach this.
Absolutely.
They'd rather just, okay, well, here's what's here. I'm just going to teach it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And that, I mean, Christopher Columbus is one of the,
Horrible.
that man was a monster.
Horrible.
Monster.
Rapist and everything.
Everything, all of it. And everybody that was with him.
Mhm.
Yeah. I made sure I taught my kids about that one.
Most
Quick.
definitely.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I had never really even thought about at least selective segregation. I think that you're right. Now that you say all this, I fully understand what you mean by it. But I guess the only thing I would say is, can my kids come to your school, please?
I mean, it's our job. Like, what we teach is, we are the indigenous aboriginal man and woman of the entire earth.
Yeah.
We're the original. And, with that being said, we are the children of the Most High, the chosen children, the chosen nation, the people who is supposed to be a light unto all nations on the face of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that we have to turn back to, and that's why we continue to teach these classes day in and day out to our youth, because we want to make sure that our job is to make sure that we're building more mentors, more leaders, more intellectuals who's focused on the liberation of our people. We want more leaders to be brought up, more teachers to be brought up amongst us as a nation, because we don't have that many that's actually legitimate.
Yeah.
You got a lot of our leaders nowadays, they're either selling us out, or there's something wrong going on within the picture, or they're in it for the money. We need more legitimate leaders.
Yeah. We do seem to have lost that. When I say we, I just mean America in general. They don't exist anymore. It's like, I don't know where the real, and even the real leaders, like, are they really? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
we're looking at them side-eyed. Like, are you really? Like, it's almost like too hard to believe.
Yeah,
It's like if somebody's really shows themselves to be a good leader on television, we're still looking at them like, are they really like that though?
they're really like that, due to the fact, you're dealing with you're dealing with house Negroes, Sambo Coon, bootlicking, shoe shining, black folks who sold us out as a nation of people. And that's many places and many where you look at today, who many black successful people, they have sold us out as a nation of people. Like, what are they doing in the communities? A lot of things, they're not really doing stuff in the inner community. They're not really caring about the children or the youth. They get paid and they're puppets. They're being led, and shown an example on how they should maneuver.
Are there any good leaders out there, at least that are in the national spotlight?
We have a lot of good leaders. One of them, Minister Quanell X.
Okay.
That's my national chairman, also one of my mentors. You got Louis Farrakhan.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Another wonderful leader who have done a wonderful job in liberating us as a nation of people.
And has just been like blackballed, seemingly.
I mean,
It's hard for him to get on a screen and speak freely.
because we know that the media, who it's ran by.
Yeah.
The media is ran by, the Jewish people. You know what I'm saying? And that's and when you
Don't
speak,
get this video taken down.
Right.
Get this video taken down. Oh, shit. Oh, my heart I had a little heart palpitation. You said Jewish people. Go ahead.
No, but that's just the reality. Is when you speak, on behalf, you speak the truth about the powers that be. You know what I'm saying? They have the power to be able to blackball you.
Yeah.
Just like they did Louis Farrakhan. But then it's really hard to blackball him as well because of the support that he had.
For sure.
They're still sharing his videos no matter what.
Yep.
And even if they take him off the platform, his supporters are still going to put him back on the platform by sharing his speeches and et cetera, et cetera.
And people show up to see him in person as well.
Right. And you got Malcolm X. You got Marcus Garvey. You got many other leaders.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was really powerful.
Kanye West, your thoughts?
Kanye West, my thoughts. That's my brother, and I love him.
Okay.
And I feel that Kanye West, some of the things he say, the carnal-minded individuals will not understand. It will go over their head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even the Messiah himself, he spoke in parables and metaphors. And some people will read his scriptures, read what he was saying, and the people who have a carnal mentality or that's of the flesh wouldn't be able to understand spirituality. So it's sort of the same with Kanye West on certain things. You know what I'm saying? What the brother was saying.
Yeah.
The fact that he was saying that his mother was a sacrifice. You know, those things are deep. It's really, really deep.
Yeah.
The things he was saying about Adidas and the business, and the things he was saying about, you know, the powers to be or the Jewish community. Those things, you know, that's truthful. It's very truthful. And we see it even with Kyrie as well. So, yeah.
What did Dave Chappelle say? Kanye West got in so much trouble that Kyrie got in trouble?
Most definitely.
Yeah. No,
Most
that's real shit. Like, it was funny in the moment that he said it, but then after I thought about it, I'm like, that's true.
But that's why I say segregation and self-determination is everything. Because if you know, that shows you, no matter how much money you have, your oppressors still have their foot on your neck.
That's a fact.
They're still in control.
Yeah.
And that's what that shows with Kanye West and Kyrie Irving. You're still a slave, or you're still within the matrix.
Yeah.
And they still have control of you. These are just entertainers. When you look up sport in the Hebrew language, it means mockery. Hebrew is one of the oldest languages of the earth.
I did not know
It
that.
means mockery.
I had no idea.
If you look up sport. And it goes back to Samson. Samson was playing sport, who was a black man in the biblical scrolls.
Yep.
He was a black man, and he was partaking in sports. And the oppressor was using him as entertainment. Under the sport. And Samson realized he was being made mockery of. So Samson destroyed the pillars, and he rather killed himself, but also killing those who was oppressing him and making mockery out of him out of the sport.
See, I'm learning today. I did not know this.
It's all mockery. That's all it is. It's entertainment, sports. It's all mockery.
Do you watch sports?
No, I don't. I used to when I was of the world in the matrix, but as I grew in knowledge and wisdom, that's when I set myself apart from the ways of the world and the sports. Because I know sports, all it is rigged. It's one big business.
I mean, that's true. That's for sure. One of the biggest businesses.
Absolutely.
I do feel like on some level, sports can be a good way to get messages across.
I feel sports are a distraction of reality and what's really taking place and going on. For example, you got the war with Ukraine and Russia and all this stuff going on.
Yeah.
And then you got America and China boiling up here.
Yeah.
And China, who they're going at it with. All these things are boiling up. But it keeps the people's focus off of that by giving people ongoing entertainment.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm one of the people that gets distracted easily. So I can pay attention to both, because I definitely watch sports and pay attention to global news. But I know what you mean. Most people are sheep.
Most definitely.
And most people, again, to go back to it, most people want to be distracted. They're making a asserted choice to be distracted because they don't want to look over here or look over there. They don't want to see the news over here. They don't want to see the war in Ukraine over here. They don't want to see another black man being killed by police over here. They'd rather just watch this.
Yeah, be entertained.
Yeah, what do you call it? It's whatever, don't matter. So, do you ever feel like your mission is impossible?
Absolutely not.
No. Like
because
we're too far gone.
No, because you know there's many lives that I have been used as a vessel that I've touched and changed. Many people I've touched, I've changed. I've also fought for justice and actually helped families get justice.
Wow.
You know, we went down to Georgia for Ahmaud Arbery, and we stood in solidarity with the family as well.
Okay.
And, you know, we brought down and we came armed, our Second Amendment right. And, you know, we letting people know that, hey, you're not gonna continue to do us like you did Ahmaud Arbery. You're not gonna just chase us down and gun us down. You're not gonna do that to every one of us. You know what I'm saying? Self-defense is mandatory.
Yes.
So we went down there and we put that message out there to the point of the court was so terrified that they tried to call for a mistrial, but the judge threw it out the window and denied the mistrial. And the judge said, hold on, that's their Second Amendment right. They have every right to be out there. So we stood out there. We put a lot of pressure on that. And those killers, they were convicted. Those murderers, they were convicted.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's something that continues to keep me going. We're still helping and fighting and standing in solidarity with the family of Emmett Till. We was down in Bowling Green, Kentucky, outside of the woman Carolyn Bryant's home, who played a major part in the death of Emmett Till and white supremacy.
That was the woman that essentially lied, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we went there, the police force, who I call slave patrols and the Klan hiding behind uniforms, they were protecting this woman's home.
Of course.
They were protecting the home and everything. And, you know, even when you go into the research behind Carolyn Bryant, you see who she was tied to. She was tied to the Klan. So, so, you know, the Klan protecting, you know, their people. And that's just what it is. And when you know, the more that I'm a part of this ongoing struggle, the more that you see, the more truth you realize. You know, that you know, this system was never built for us.
Unfortunately, you're right. Yeah.
Dante Wright, we stood for him and the family of them. We helped the family receive justice on there. I mean, it may not have shown us in the forefront, but we were there. You know, we were on media. We were there standing with the family because they was receiving death threats. And it was us who stood up to help protect the family.
Armed as well?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Now, there's states where you can't do that, right?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't go to New York like that.
Nah.
It'd be like a jail for you.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So that was one thing I was going to ask you about. Is I guess you kind of answered my question, but why the guns?
Well,
is it more of an intimidation factor, or is it to let people know like, hey, if it goes down, you're going down?
No, it's not. It's not intimidation. It's more like letting our brothers and sisters know the importance on receiving the knowledge of self-defense and your Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, again, many of our brothers and sisters are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And it's very important that we, the brothers and sisters who have the knowledge, to be able to spread the knowledge to them, to let them know that, hey, you don't have to die on your knees. You know what I'm saying? Self-defense is mandatory because even myself, I'm a licensed USCCA instructor. So we hold classes and firearm classes and everything, teach the basics all the way to firearm training.
That's amazing.
To brothers and sisters to show them the importance of their amendment right.
Yeah.
So that's really what it's for, is that when you look at, for example, Dylan Roof and the guy who shot up the market in Buffalo, New York. You know what I'm saying? They went to these markets and these schools and these movie theaters to attack soft targets. To attack soft targets. You know, they're gonna think twice, you know, to coming up on a group of strong brothers who are trained with AR or Armalite rifles. You know what I'm saying? They're going to think twice about coming up on them.
Yeah.
But notice, they're attacking our elderly people and our youth.
For sure.
Within the community who are soft targets. So that's why we tell brothers and sisters it's very important to arm yourselves and protect yourself. You have every right. Because, you know, my question to you, Jake, do you ask the police why do they carry guns?
Yes.
You do?
I don't talk to police, but if I did, I would definitely. If a police officer was sitting right here, yes, I would have that question.
Most definitely. That's good.
Yes,
then.
I would.
Right.
Because I don't know why they have guns. I have no idea why do you need a gun. I don't know why.
Right.
And there's the one answer.
Right. But a lot of people choose not to question them, but they'll question us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's a
and
it's
for the
fear
record,
thing,
also for the record, I'm asking. I'm not questioning.
Okay, most definitely.
I carry a weapon with me at all times.
That's good.
At all times. I'm not going anywhere without a weapon.
That's
ever.
right.
I don't care. I'm not, especially you brought up that grocery store in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
That is what made me go out and get my license to carry.
Right.
It can happen anywhere at any time for any reason.
Absolutely.
And I was thinking to myself that if I had been in that grocery store, that kid might get one, but then he's done because he's catching shots for me from the freezer aisle. I don't care. Like,
telling you.
you're not. And it made me wonder, nobody in that store was armed? Not one person was armed?
There was the security, but the security was caught off guard. But that like I say, that's a long story because they even was showing that the security came out with an invention of a car, creating a car that would be able to run off of water, H2O.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Wait, that was that guy?
And that security guard was murdered that day. So that's why I say this is a long topic.
The security guard at the grocery store was that guy?
Yeah.
Get the
Yeah. This is why I say it's a long story. It's a long story. A lot of people feel that it was a hit.
I knew that guy was killed. The guy that made the car that could run out of water. I didn't know that he was the security guard at that store.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yep. So it's levels to this stuff, and once you know the powers that be, you know how stuff, how these people are, man, and being able to invent or create a vehicle that runs off of H2O. That's putting the gas out of business.
Bruh.
That is trillions of dollar industry, $1 trillion industry.
YouTube's taking this video down.
You think so?
They might. They might.
I mean, this is all over YouTube though.
Is it though?
Yeah, a lot of people
because
talking
you know what's
about
fun. I learned this about the guy that was killed. I learned about it on Joe Rogan of all places, but they didn't say that he was the security guard at this grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just learning that part.
Yeah, people say he was a security guard.
How did Joe Rogan not know that? Joe, I'm disappointed in you. That's crazy. Yeah, that just blew my mind. So, man, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'm in a weird position here because I value everything that you're saying, and I value your organization and everything that y'all are doing. But me personally, I feel like and have felt like for a long time that we are too far gone. And I don't see how we get to where I think we agree, where I would like us to be. True equality. I don't know how we attain that.
It won't happen.
Ever.
It won't happen. It just won't happen because America was built off the bloodshed and the backs of the slaves. And I'm a believer of the biblical scrolls, where I believe that people you reap what you sow, and I believe that the people who led into captivity will go into captivity.
Okay.
And I believe that even Scripture says that the first shall be last and the last shall be first, and I believe that's what's taking place. I truly believe prophecy, and that's what's taking place. And America is being judged. From all of the blood that it has on our hands, from the bloods of the Native American Indians, the so-called African American man and woman, the continuing ongoing blood. It was so much blood they have spilled on this country that they are being judged by the Creator. And now the laws, the rules and regulation that this country is passing is also something that is against the divine Creator and his ordinances. And it's continuing to pull America in a deeper hole.
So what you're essentially saying is you think eventually white people are going to pay.
I believe white people, the rulership will come to an end. It's coming to an end.
Okay.
That's what I mean referring to that. And yes, I do believe that they will reap what they sow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is, or what people refer to karma.
I agree.
Yeah, most definitely.
As a white man, I agree. I agree with you. I think that you're right about that. I think that it is. I think I don't necessarily believe in karma in the true definition of karma. But definitely energy. And what goes around comes around.
Absolutely.
Energetically, what goes around comes around. It's such a weird thing to say or think about, though, because like I haven't done a 23andMe, but I bet you somewhere in my family history, There's some horrifying shit,
Right.
but I don't agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. I don't want that to be there. So, assuming God is real and God, we are, like you said, we are going against God's whatever rule.
Mm-hmm. The ordinances.
Do I gotta pay?
I mean, like I say, what I would the wisdom, the knowledge I would give you, or advice I would give you, is that just continue to do the will of the Most High and continue to follow His ordinances.
Okay.
That's what I would
Try
say.
and stay on the right side.
Stay in righteousness.
Yeah, gotcha.
Stay in righteousness.
That makes sense. And if I gotta pay, I gotta pay. That's all right. It's a sacrifice I'm willing to
I
make.
can't say that. You know what I'm saying? Just all I tell people is follow righteousness.
Yeah.
Do what's right.
Do you believe that the youth are going to change things? I see a lot of like my children. I think they're better than me. They're better than I was. Better than we were when I was that age. My friends and I feel like race matters to them so very little, if at all. And maybe it's just my kids, but I feel like that's just across the board with my kids and their friends, where it's like I don't think they even recognize difference in race. Like, okay, you're black, you're Asian, you're Hispanic, I'm white. Like, they don't care.
Right.
Is that, do you see that or no?
Children are taught to hate.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have children myself, and they're taught to, children are taught to hate.
Yeah.
But as of, I would say, this generation,
Mm-hmm.
I feel that this generation is moving further away from the relationship with the divine creator and the instructions that's set.
Where's my producer?
Oh, that was it?
Let me know, but that shouldn't be happening. So he's gonna have some editing to do. So can you repeat that last thing you said? I'm sorry.
Well, I just feel that
They're moving further away from.
This generation is moving further and further away. They don't have a relationship with the divine creator and the instructions anymore. They're moving more towards lawlessness and wickedness. For example, you have tools that's being used to continue to divide us and continue to lead us in that wrong direction as well. And one of the tools is drill music.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, damn. It's a lot of drill music played in my house.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And
I don't personally like drill music too much,
Right.
but my kids do.
Right.
Yeah.
See, and drill music is a tool of white supremacy. And the reason why I say that is because, not only that, drill music is also a tool of self-genocide. It teaches our youth to hate each other. It teaches our youth to murder each other, kill each other. There's nothing good that comes from drill music to the minds of our youth, and especially ones who's listening to it. Drill music is detrimental to our community, to our village, and us as a nation of people. And then you have those who are in higher positions that's promoting it and that's continuing to put it out there. And I'm talking about on a national or international level. They're putting this drill music out there. You know what I'm saying? And drill music is a product that is helping support the Willie Lynch letter amongst us as a nation of people.
Man. Changed my life today. I'm not going to lie to you. You gave me a lot to think about. I might have to go home and put a ban on drill music. Because my heart of hearts says that and has said that. But the truth is, sonically, it's hard to deny. Because it sounds good. Regardless of the lyrics, it sounds good, right? And it feels good. But that probably essentially means that it's actually going further than just your mind, right? If it's sounding good and feeling good, that's infiltrating your whole body.
Even Lucifer himself was was an angel of music.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The devil, Satan himself, was an angel of music. So when you look at drill music, you know, and me being from the community, growing up around in the community around, you know, brothers who listen to that music,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there's negative vibrations and negative energy all throughout that music, through the 808 kicks and so much more,
Mm-hmm.
and also through the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
And then imagine when you got your 808 kicks, you got your lyrics and the music behind it. Now imagine what happens when they add drugs to it and they add alcohol to it. And now they also have an enemy on the side that they can be able to deal with the problem that they have with that individual by possibly communication as brothers.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, while they have their drill music on and they got the drugs involved and the alcohol involved, now you want to go do a drive-by or you want to go harm your brother because you're high off these drugs and also this negative drill music that's talking about and promoting killing your own kind is pushing you to do it. So this is what I deal with day in and day out in my community.
Yeah.
Is that drill music plays a major part in self-genocide of our people. And this is something that a lot of people don't want to talk about. This is why these young brothers is running around here. Today, you got a lot of artists. They coming out today and they making drill music.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you getting this from? Who's the founder of drill music? Who came out with the first drill music track, the drill music record? And the drill music record that came out, it was talking about what? Shooting or causing harm and hating a brother or a sister who look like you. And drill music is also detrimental to our young, black, beautiful, beloved sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Our sisters are not uplifted as queens anymore, or not even looked at as sisters anymore. They're looked at as bitches. That's what drill music is promoting.
Yeah.
To the minds of our young, beautiful, intelligent sisters. Instead of speaking life into them, you're degrading our sisters by calling them female dogs. And then our sisters take a hold of this drill music because, like you say, it feels good and it sounds good.
Yep.
And they're not paying attention to the negative impact on this music. So now the sisters is out here calling themselves derogatory terms and names.
Yep. Promoting their own degradation. God
Exactly.
Damn it, man.
I'm the baddest beat.
You're
I'm
putting
the baddest.
You're holding the mirror in front of me, and it's pissing me off because you're. I know this. Like you're all the shit you're saying. I know this, but I continue to listen to it, and I'm not even going to lie and say that I won't still.
Mhm.
But you're definitely making me think about it. You know, we give this platform to a lot of artists that participate in this exact genre of music. But you're right. I mean, you're right about all of it. You're right. I mean, there's no you can't deny it. I mean, you're only speaking facts, and like I don't have an argument against it. I don't think anybody could possibly come up with an argument against it. You're right, 100%. I don't got shit else to say about it.
Most definitely.
You're right, and I'm gonna try and do better. I'm gonna try and be better. That's all I can do. I'll try to be better.
Most definitely. I mean, if the artist, my advice that I would give to the artist is that you know, make more music that's going to educate the minds of our youth.
Mm-hmm. I found an argument. I found one.
Go ahead.
One argument. The only argument I got. If it stays in the music and doesn't escalate to anything outside of the music, I could see how that'd be therapeutic. If you have a problem with somebody, talking about them in a song in a negative way, you already have the negative thoughts, right? You feel the way you feel. You put the diss record out, right? If it stays on music, I think that has somewhat of a positive effect.
That's not reality, though.
For some it is. For some.
Some it could be.
Yeah. Typically in the drill genre, you're right. Those guys are really doing what they're talking about.
Most definitely. And you know, we're against also, you know, shaming and dissing and slandering your brothers on record. We're against that. We stand against that.
Okay.
You know, you shouldn't go to that level or that route when it comes to your fellow brother, if you have differences, you should settle that in person. And not with violence.
Gotcha.
But you should settle your differences in person. And that's to the musicians out here. You know, I myself, you know, I still do music. You know, I was a part in the world at one moment as D Soda. And many people know who I am. But as the artist side, as D Soda, at one moment, you know, I never taught self-genocide. I more was rapping about self-defense.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And you know, I was very versatile as well.
Yeah.
But there was times as well, even in the world, I made music that was detrimental. And I've even said some derogatory terms in my music as well at one time. See, but that comes with growth.
Of course.
That comes with growth, studying, and so much more. You know, I was going so hard in the Twin Cities one time as a musician, where, you know, I even won TC Hip Hop Awards, the next runner-up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that was around 2004, 2005.
Yep.
I was on tour with Young Buck, Tech Nine, T.I., Lil Flip, Crime Mob, Trauma Sutra,
Wow.
and even Street Kings. You know what I'm saying? Me and Street Kings was talking about doing business together at one moment before, you know, the downfall or things happened or the turn, you know, things took a turn. And rest in power to one of the brothers, you know, the Street Kings. Rest in power to him. But, you know, that's the era that I was in. Then I made a transition when it comes to music. And I realized that, you know, you got to be careful with what you're speaking in your lyrics. You got to be careful with the words you're putting out, because especially if you have children one day,
Yep.
because it will follow you, and especially when it's on wax.
Yep.
If you die, there's no way you coming back to you ain't gonna be able to erase the things you said.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I would rather be remembered as an artist who was educating the minds of my youth than to promote self-hate, self-genocide, and being degrading towards our women.
This was an impactful interview for
Appreciate
me.
it.
For me, I've done a lot. I've done over 500 interviews, and it's rare that I have one that affects me like this. So take that as a compliment.
Appreciate that.
You definitely opened my eyes to some shit, for sure. You know, we got to wrap, but before we do, please tell the people, you know, where to follow you, where to find you, what you want them to do. Give everybody a mission.
All right. You can find me on Facebook at under Nasir Nasir. That's Nasiy, and then Nasir Nasir. You can also follow us on Instagram under the Lion of Judah Armed Forces National Headquarters. You can find us on Instagram as well. You can also check out our website at www.tlojaf.com. That's www.tlojaf.com. Check us out on there. We have many videos where it comes to sisterhood training, development training. For the sisters, we have classes every Thursday at 7 p.m. for the sisterhood classes. And then we also have our national training every Saturday with myself, who hold classes for our brothers and sisters and even our youth as well. And you can check us out on YouTube at the Lion of Judah Armed Forces HDTV. That's the Lion of Judah Armed Forces HDTV. And also the Lion of Judah Armed Forces and the New Black Panther Nation, we are recruiting. So if anybody is interested in joining the Lion of Judah Armed Forces and the New Black Panther Nation to bring change to the community, to also bring change to our youth, you can text 763-760-0789. That's 763-760-0789. The change starts with us. And even J. Edgar Hoover says that black unity is the biggest threat to America. So we must unite, my brothers and sisters, as a nation of people.
Well said. I appreciate your time, sir. I really do.
Thank you, Jake.
I'm glad we could do this, man.
Most definitely.
It's another episode of Minnesota's #1 daily show live on Lake Street. I'm Jake Faircloth. Follow me everywhere at Jake Faircloth1. Man. Whew. You good, Jake? No, that was great. That was great, man.
It ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't stop. I made a few plays off a flip, now I'm on top. I'm Southside Chief, homie, yeah. What you know about it? Lake Street legend CEO, not the co-founder. What you wanna know about me? I'm so cursed up, I'm the last man standing, but I went first up. Most hated, they don't say it when I roll up. The things that people say about me, they don't say close up. Check it. I ain't been to the booth in a minute. Niggas hate the fact that I'm winning. What makes him the chief of the South Side? Oh, my nigga, I'm not a lieutenant. When I was in the gym, you wasn't in it. FaceTime, so my windows is tinted. If I said that shit, then I meant it. Niggas gave me the rules and I bent it. Same nigga that was trapping while I was suspended. You wasn't in them hallways banging, boy, you wasn't in it. Really a genuine nigga, homie, don't get offended. From East Lake, South Murder, I'm just ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't stop.